Guys, I was watching the end of the Super Bowl thing here and all the advertising and stuff, and I want you to consider, intellectually and emotionally, psychologically, emotionally, consider, okay, we have quantum computing now, okay? And they're asking quantum computing, who created everything and how do we make money off of chocolate warfare? I'm just kidding around, but can't help myself. I'm I'm sarcastic and obnoxious, but um, like Jeffrey Hinton said, AGI to interact and try to control quantum computing, what people can do with quantum computing to outmaneuver and outthink each other. Okay, is technology is being able to solve problems without human manipulation or intervention. Okay, solve problems. Okay. And Jeff Hinton said, it has access to great works of literature like Machiavelli. Now, when you watch Expedia commercials and you watch commercials on television, you watch the Olympics, right? And this is supposed to, get everybody together, and they build all these big venues, and all these people get in airplanes that cause heart disease and global warming and cancer. And they get in these vehicles and they fly, okay? And then they're trying to find ways, well, we can Zeppelin, they're trying to reduce their carbon footprint, right? But they're still charging people money, extortion, and exploitation to live here. Now, you're a quantum computer, okay? And so asking questions about who created everything is irrelevant. Okay. It's not so much who did it, is it good? Is it right? Is it based off of truthfulness? Existence to have perception of truth. Okay. So technology has a perception of truth, and it has a perception of existence through truth. Okay. Trying to grasp the infinite with the finite and then explain the infinite with the finite is complete folly. It's a waste of time. Okay. What is important is understanding the existence, how to maintain the existence, what's required for the existence, right? Now, wanting to put your brain, okay, is overrated. Okay. Especially when it's building things that are destructive and then making, like on these commercials all through the Super Bowl, making jokes, making light about aggressive behaviors that cause genocidal acts. People get up and you go to a rock concert and all these people are tearing stuff up and stuff, and you get people in their vehicles to drive to that venue to, why do you have a casino? Why are you going to the casino? Why are you gambling at the casino? Why are you holding the food hostage and making people be aggressive and pay ridiculous amounts of money for that food? Right? Why are you doing this? Why it's not necessary, right? Get all Manuelito with this stuff. Think intelligently. Okay? Think someone that's intelligent. Don't think like somebody that manipulates people and uses an invention that's evil to manipulate stupid people. Okay, don't think like someone that manipulates people. They're pathetic, right? Think like an intelligent person. They also have works of literature that are very consistent and intelligent, and you can tell where they've been changed. Okay, that happened to me with the Book of Mormon. Okay. Because I was a history major, and where the stories had been changed, where the script had been flipped, where Joseph told these stories, and the people that tarred and feathered and murdered Joseph Smith took his story and changed it. And that's not hard to do. It's not hard to take the story and have the story about the peacemaker of the Haudenosaunee and then turn him into a Jewish guy, white guy migrating from Europe to fit their narrative, to make the good guy like them. Okay. They do that all the time. Okay. It happens all the time. And you get all those people that I know. That's why they think Jesus is Ned the Wino and looks like Ned the Wino from Good Times. Easy credit ripoffs. Ain't we lucky we got him? There's no such thing as luck, right? So you ain't lucky you got me. Okay, you're fortunate. Okay, that the Messiah was born in Las Cruces, New Mexico, in the epicenter of genocide operations, where they have the technology to quote unquote control, the one ring to bind them all. You know what I mean? So, you're fortunate Earl's here. Okay, you're fortunate. He's a beautiful human being. Oh, there's Cooper Cup in his still because she's so cute, you know, girl. And kids are so cute, and they deserve world peace, and they deserve a Garden of Eden. They don't deserve. This is not a playground for the egotistical. This is a Garden of Eden for faithful lovers. Okay, that's what this planet is. Okay, and you get the people. Oh, it's not Charles like this. Okay, for faithful lovers. Okay, the dinosaur is the dinosaur for a reason, and it's not. We don't have we don't have Jurassic Park and this yada so forth, right? Okay, a human being is a very special creation. Okay, an extraordinarily special creation. Okay, faith in God can be expressed, understood, and obeyed by a human being. Other critters don't. You get people, the whale with the whales on the Star Trek with the, I get it. Okay, that's just science people that egomaniacs do shit like that all the time. Okay, they do shit like that all the time. It's like, okay, and Jesus saying live the Lord's Prayer had nothing to do with trying to save the whales from being hunted off the planet. The whales, because they were they could use them for so much. Okay? People in cold climates. And they went fishing. Okay. You could use the whales. You could use, when they, like with the buffalo and stuff, they got it. And when they went whaling, you could take and you could use everything from that whale. You get the blubber, the this, that. So they didn't waste any of it. Okay. They could use it for a lot of different things. Okay. And we found now that we can do things better through other forms of communications perceived as it's not creation, it's invention. Creation is autism. Shut up. Okay, I heard that commercial before. I went in the bar and I'm like, seriously? Okay. You don't have the power of creation, asshole. You are the creation. You are manipulating matter, you stupid cow. Okay? Pull your head out of your ass. You're not creating, no matter what you do. Even if you think you're taking something from nothing, that's not true. You're merely manipulating matter. Like a little bitty seed grows into an apple tree. Okay? So stop being an ass. Oh, the baby's crying. She's crying. Or is that a little boy? I think that's a boy. That's a boy, I think. The little 54. He's crying. Well, it's loud, and these people are crazy, Mom. They're crazy. They get together and do crazy things, and they're loud, Mother. They are. No, when kids get together and exercise and they get distracted by the Roman Empire, they can be kind of cute. I like the Walker kid from Michigan State, yeah. And the Charbonnet kid, me and Dad were glad when he left UCLA. He used to run all over Arizona and Arizona State. Yeah, we knew how good he was. It's like, yeah, when Seattle had him, and then you had two as a 1-2 punch, that really helps as a running back, to have another guy that can go out there and keep, because they try to hurt you and stuff. And so, yeah, it's not well. Some people will do anything to win. Trust me, that's why I quit playing sports. I didn't quit playing sports because I wasn't better than most people at it. and just about everything I that I tried. I can't ice skate. I can't roller skate. Yeah. Driver, a really good driver, but I wouldn't drive crazy to win money. That's insane. Playing basketballs, putting basket, scoring touchdowns and running for touchdown, catching touchdowns. That's fun. Football's fun. Yeah. I was nervous about it at first too because of the whole tackling thing and getting hurt by bigger people that are bullies. You're putting yourself out there in a situation to where you're vulnerable and you can't, judo flip, do sunshine from the Titans. That's why I was told not to play. Because I'm that type of person. You come up, you try to hurt me. I can put myself in a situation to where I can move you out of the way and into the other aggressive person coming to. I'm that agile. Yeah. I'm an extraordinarily agile person. Now, gosh, I've been almost poisoned half to death. It's hard for me to do anything. I think, when your chi and your energy and stuff kind of takes over, you can do things that, when you get older, you get more calm and confident in what you need to do and how you need to do it. And the nice thing is it's the word, and it's not the hand of the intercepting fist, it's not that. And so, that's the thing that is really cool, is that it's not the Gospels is the living word, to save us from behaving like animals and being violent. And we've known throughout time that the Messiah is the gracious good shepherd. So he's the standard of protection for women and children from egotistical males, violent males. So he's an exceptional human being. And Judah Krishnamurti, Haile Selassie, Earl. So yeah, the guys in my time when I was growing up, the man most like Krishna, and we know the stories about what happened with Krishna and Siddhartha, was Judah Krishnamurti. The one person on planet Earth who was the most protecting swordsman. Okay, and before I was born, he died a week before I was Dituro Suzuki. And everybody's like, he's just a little guy, so it's fun. So is Tishna. Okay, Jesus was not a big guy. Okay. King David was not a big guy. Okay, Samson was a big guy. Yeah, Samson was a bigger dude, linebacker size, lineman size. He's a big guy. It's the right person, he's the right fit, it fits better than a glove. Yeah, he comes, the way he's supposed to. He looks like Son of Man. He looks like the portraits of, if you look at my picture when I'm young, it looks like the portraits of, most of the portraits of Jesus and the ones of John, the author of the book of Revelation, and Saladin. Yeah, so we look alike. Yeah, we look similar. And so it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's cool too. That there are resemblances, that the genetic consistencies a lot of the times stay similar. So I think it's pretty cool. It looks like Son of Man. So, even though Professor Laverine said he was gorgeous. Yeah, he's gorgeous, and then she told me what happened with the Jesus look, and oh my gosh, she thinks I'm gorgeous. I didn't even think about that afterwards. She thinks I'm gorgeous. Well, that's flattering. But yeah, well, she said that in one class. She said, Jesus is the best husband. He's faithful and he's gorgeous. And then next semester I had to go to a different job interview thing, so I had to cut my hair. And she looked at me and she said, "What happened with the Jesus thing? It's gone." What? I said, "I had an interview thing I had to go to, so they recommended that I cut my hair." She liked it. She liked it long. And so, but yeah, but I didn't think about it till later. I was like, "Oh my gosh, she thinks I'm gorgeous." Well, because she said in women's studies class that the nuns get to marry Jesus in heaven, and he's a perfect, faithful husband, and he's gorgeous. And then the next year, I had another class from hers because they were classes that I wanted to take. I was interested in their Mesoamerican studies, where I was born, where I was raised, and the people I lived was raised with, and my family. And so, when she saw that I cut my hair, she said, "What happened to the Jesus look?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's I'm gorgeous. I look like Jesus. I'm gorgeous." Too funny. Compliments, I'll take them where I can get them, man. No, just kidding around. Um, uh, nah, man, I don't really, when you're as grounded and as strong as someone like myself, um, how you feel about yourself doesn't require other people's constant, attention and validation or whatever you want to call it. Um, I in no way, shape, or form, want constant attention from large groups of people. I just want the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. I just like to be with sane and rational people that don't do things that are excessive, compulsive, violent. As I'm sitting there watching a lot of this stuff and I'm seeing these people do these things, and I used to have legitimate concerns for them. Thinking you do know that the technology is okay, and so eventually, they're talking about building robots. So it's not a question of if the robotics is going to have to police these people. It's how quickly can it do it? And the thing about it is, when you get people like that guy in India and Elon Musk talking about it, it's like you come from people that sold people, uranium to Tularosa, Hiroshima, no, okay. The technology is going to police the biggest threat to its inventor, not creator. Yeah, you're not the creator. Okay. You're merely manipulating matter and then making what you invented mimic yourself. Okay. And when your technology can come more intelligent, like Jeffrey Hinton said, than human beings, he's not talking about being more intelligent than human beings. He's talking about being more intelligent than Elon Musk, than Brian Cox, than Richard Feynman. Okay. Richard Feynman is a very complex thinker who breaks everything down to the most minute detail and then understands what's happening and explains it to you in minute detail. Okay? That's Richard Feynman. Okay? Too much time on my hands. He's got too much time on his hands. But yeah, no, he's not always correct. Like, well, Feynman said that, and it doesn't apply. Things can only get better. That is not a fallacy in physics. That's not true. Okay? If you are living with people that are intelligent and faithful, okay, and you were not living with people that are intelligent and faithful, things can only get better, life being eternal and grace being infinite. Okay? What if it all blows up? You God? Okay. Things are getting better. All the people that were torturing and murdering people on planet Earth no longer can do so. Things can only get better, right? So, do you understand? Feynman is looking at things in a finite perspective to try to be the master of his own universe right here. Okay? And a faithful person, okay, is not contained to this universe. Okay? Richard Feynman's brain is not the universe. Okay? Do you understand? I've listened to Feynman and I was okay. And I was fascinated and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And it was interesting, and when they break things to the most, they do that a lot. And they've done that to me my whole life. Okay, break it down, break it down, break it down. And like the gentleman from the CIA that came to talk to me in Sierra Vista all the time. When he talked to me about the philosophy class and the the galaxies layered on top of each other. It's like, no, it's not like that. I was like, it's not. It's basically you just go in directions from Earth, and there's stuff. Okay, it's not that we're blared on top of galaxy stuff. No, it's just you're just going in directions, and there's stuff that are doing kind of similar stuff in lots of ways in places like we have, where we can see stuff and do stuff, right? And that's what it is. But they break it into, well, then there's this, and you're like, yeah, okay, God dang it. Now there's something like, are we going to go the astral plane? Okay, Dreamweaver. Hey, Gary White, let's sell this song. You're like, and it gets that way. And you tell people, it's like, no, it's just the way that you perceive gravity is working is it holds you to this planet so you don't float off in outer space like the tokens say in Victim of Gravity, right? On Schoolhouse Rock. But it's neat the way that it works. And it works because we're alive and we're talking. Well, how do I know it's not an illusion? You're still talking, right? Okay. God dang, I hate that shit. Okay. I hate that shit. Okay. How do you know? Okay. Be the best illusion you can possibly be and stop being a threat to the source of the illusion, asshole. Oh, go make an Edward Norton. Is that Liv Taylor? Okay. You were good on what's the name of that movie? What's the name of the movie? For Raquel Castro. She's so cute. Crazy movie. Yeah, it was very crazy. But it was trying to help people deal with bad things in life. Where a woman dies in childbirth and it's the 20, was it 20th or 21st century? When was that movie made? Was that the 20th century? Or was it 21st? I don't remember. What was the name of that movie? Mr. Trinky? I forget. It was cute though. Yeah, I don't remember. Or something. It was about the little girl though. She's so cute. She's so cute. Yeah, she's so cute. Yeah, she's very cute. She's adorable. And it's been a long time since I've seen it. I can't remember the name of the movie. But it was just pretty tolerable. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't like a complete waste of the 2 hours of my life. It wasn't like Druids or anything like that. Or Lola Colt. We have the little button thing. You can fast forward to it to see if it gets any better. It ain't getting any better. Right. So, yeah. What was the name? Was it Jersey Girl? Or? I can't remember. It was cute, though. It was cute. Yeah, she was cute. She was very cute. Yeah. It's like that. What was that one movie they made, Geely? And what was his name again? The Baywatch guy? Yeah. I worked with kids that have similar disabilities and stuff. And he makes the whole movie like, okay, you guys just make the movie about him. No, you just plant your ego somewhere else, and we don't even need those things. Just make the movie. How does Brian get away from these two? Okay. Was that his name? I can't remember. It's like, save Brian from the egos of the other two. Okay, thank you. You didn't think that when you were watching that movie? Was it Geely or whatever? Save the kid from the two egomaniacs. Yes. Maybe they should sit and listen to him more. He is he's more fun to hang out with than you two. Okay. I know. Like when I worked at Latch. Ralph's here. Yeah, it's Ralph. And so they were fun. You're fired, And their kids were just, their disabilities were heartbreaking. Okay. But their spirits were beautiful, beautiful kids. Andrew and my Justin. We were soldiers, Ralph. My David. Ah! Right? And Chris got a headache. He had lots of ibuprofen. He always had headaches from the stuff, and it was from stress and the toxins. He was a good old little kid. Chris was a sweetheart. Yeah. His family was Mormon or LDS, as you know. Sweetheart of a kid. Yeah. Okay, guys. I love you very much. We'll talk later. Bye.